Greetings. I am Tabin of a Mind Transformed, and this is Manna for Your Journey. Romans 8 and 28 says, "For we know that all things work together for the good, for those that love the Lord, for those that are called according to his purpose." I always like that scripture because it says all things work together for the good. But the part I really want to kind of focus on is the part that says, "For we know." Do we know? Trusting God is a thing that's easy to say, "Oh, I trust God." It's a very a phrase easy to utter, but something harder to walk out in everyday life. If we really trust God, then we know. We're not unsure, we're not halfway, we're not mostly sure, we're not guessing. We know that all things work together for the good, for those that love the Lord, for those who are called according to his purpose. For we know all things work together for the good. Everything that has happened to you in your life is a thing. Everything is a thing. If a thing happened to you, for we know that all things work together for the good. Whatever you can think of in your life was a thing that happened. Did someone you really love leave here, go home to be with the Lord? Did their time here on earth end? That was a thing that happened, for we know all things. Did you have some trouble spots in your life, trouble spots in relationships? Did a marriage fail, a job ended, loss of residence, or there's bills behind, you're not sure how you're going to make it? All of these are things, and for we know that all things work together for the good. Trusting God means that despite the situation and the circumstance, despite how it looks, despite how people around you are reacting to it, despite what the world is saying, despite the prognosis of any report, financial report, doctor's report, whatever kind of report, it doesn't matter what those things are saying, doesn't matter what's happening. Trusting God means I will be steadfast and immovable despite everything around me seeming crazy, out of place, out of whack, as they say. No matter what type of attack or pressure that I'm under, all of these things will work together for my good. That's the promise that we have as believers, because scripture cannot lie. And if it says it, it is true. For we know all things will work together for the good. For us to see the manifestation of promise and for us to see the fulfillment of potential in 2024, it's going to require trusting God. Not just the word and the phrase trusting God, not just saying I trust him. It's going to require a true, sincere belief, a knowing for a certain fact. It's like, you're hearing my voice in this video. You know that you can see or smell or taste or touch. You're experiencing the world. You know these things. You're going to have to know that all things work together for the good. It doesn't matter what it is. And yes, it's hard in the situations where it seems darkest to imagine seeing light, but we have to know that even in those dark moments that we feel in our life, all things are going to work together for the good. So you're probably saying, "Taven, sounds great, but how do I get to the all things work together for the good?" Keep living. Just keep living. All things are going to work together for the good. Keep going. Keep getting up. Keep trusting God. It may take some time, but all things work together for the good. That's the assurance that we have that people in the world don't have. This is why we don't have to turn to drugs and alcohol or sex or any other things to make us feel good so we can feel something, because we don't want to feel the pain. We don't have to fear being alone. We don't have to fear what may come, because we have that promise. All things are going to work together for the good. 2024 can be a year where you just don't have potential, because potential unmet doesn't mean much. But 2024 can be a year when you fulfill that potential, when promises are manifested, if you trust God. It doesn't matter what thing happens, it's going to work together for your good. If you love the Lord, you're called according to his purpose. And if God calls you into salvation, you've been called according to his purpose. Well, that's all I have for you today. Again, my name is Taven of a Mind Transformed. Be blessed.